Hey y'all, welcome back to Modified. This is Project SLIK, DOGG, and we got all these parts to unbox for the front end of this truck. Check it out. If you want to learn more about Project SLIK, DOGG, or the Gangsta Burb, RCSB project, pre-runner project, it's back there. Go to my channel, like and subscribe to all the stuff. Click playlist and go down and find playlist Project SLIK, DOGG, and get caught up on all the stuff we're about to unbox to throw in the front end of this thing. This would be an upgraded part. Comes with all the necessary hardware. Don't want it to explode and go all over the place. This would be the new brackets, bushings, and end links for the 1 1/4 sway bar. Man, this thing's got some weight to it. I don't really do unboxings. This is like my first one. Forgive me if it's not professional. But like I said on my last video, I kind of just wing these things. Stock sway bar is like a 7/8, and this is a 1 1/4 inch. Provide more stability on the front of the truck as far as the lean when you go in a corner. Yeah, this thing here, it probably weighs a good 40 or 50 pounds. Like, this is gonna stiffen up the front of the truck nicely. So I can lay everything out, I'll go ahead and cut this box completely open, lay it in the back of the truck so I don't scratch up that gorgeous wood bed he worked so hard on. All right, so here's the big, new, beefy 1 1/4 sway bar, all the hardware, and a new set of sway bar end links. You get the new pieces to go onto the lower control arms, the hooks for the bushings, everything. And all new bolts, hardware, and washers. Put it all together. In this box, we have, this truck has manual brakes, about 400 horsepower. When you got a lot of go, you need a lot of whoa. So, this is the new power boost. We're gonna put a nice set of vacuum brakes on this truck. Feels like a master cylinder. Just don't want to Neanderthal and break it all up. There we go. This is the master cylinder and bolt kit. This is the power disc to rear power drum brake proportion valve with brake sensor and everything needed to bench bleed. Hook the brake lines too, but the mounting bracket for the proportion valve. It's like Christmas. So here's the next thing. We're gonna hold off on that because this is what's so cool about what I'm about to do to this truck. Don't know what's in this box, but it's all necessary. So we lowered the rear 5 inches by putting the axle on top of the springs, which is usually a 6-inch drop, and then we went with the shorter lift shackles. So we got a 5-inch drop in the back of the truck. And on the front, these are the brand new 3-inch drop springs. I didn't find any drop spindles that I wanted to use for this truck. And since we're going hot rod, I wanted the front to be low and stiff. These things are powder coated, beautiful. Conical shape, small on the top, large on the bottom to fit in the bucket. Nice and heavy too. These run about 80 bucks, so they were cheaper than drop spindles. This might give it away to y'all mechanics that know what you're looking at. These are some way larger than factory brake pads. Factory ones are single piston caliper. They're about this big. These have at least another 1.5 inches of meat. So if this doesn't give it away, this probably will. In this box, Ford versus Chevy is next week. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of hot rod content coming up. In this box, we have some brake dust shields because I'm going with all new brakes in front of this truck. Nice powder coated, similar to what's on the RCSB. If you kind of pick up what I'm putting down, and all the old suspension's about to come right off and get thrown in the scrap pile. I'm gonna leave these in the box. so they don't rust before I put them on. But these are the rotors. Project SLIK DOGG started life off as a 5-lug. Axle that's underneath it now is a heavy half out of like a 90s OBS. So to keep the 6-lug also on the front, this bag is sealed. I don't want to bust it up. We're going with a set of drilled and slotted rotors, 6-lug. But here's the hubs. 6-lug, 99 to 06, Chevy GMC, sealed bearing. This is going to be unnecessary. There's going to be the new front bearing. What's on the truck now is the old bearing style where the spindle sticks out. You slide the whole disc brake and wheel bearing over that with the lock nut with the cotter pin. In this one, none of this is sponsored. It was all purchased. I have 2 dual piston front brakes, left and right, off of a 99 to 06 GMT 800. There is a left and a right. Just want to be sure I got the right parts. You tell left and right from where the bleed screw is. So the bleed screw on this one is at the top. This would be the passenger side. You put in the bleed screw on this one at the top with the piston sitting inboard side of the truck. This is the driver's side. So doing this brake upgrade has taken the front brakes from 11-inch rotors to 13-inch rotors, from single pot piston calipers to dual pot piston calipers, increasing the stopping power of this truck tremendously. The rear brakes on the factory were these like 1.5 inch wide. If you watched the last video, you saw them. Probably 10-inch drum brakes. The new brakes on a heavy half rear end are 2.5 inch wide, 11-inch diameter drum brakes. So it's got a lot more in the front and the back to bring this thing to a halt quickly. Last but not least, team lift. Both y'all. That's why they call me Big D. This is the exciting part. Some nice replacement tubular upper control arms. This is a way more rigid piece than the stock piece. The stock is stamped steel. It's got some flex in it. If you saw me pull the truck onto the lift in the introduction video, it had like a jelly bean wobble to it. It's just like driving a jello mold. It wasn't all in the tires. It's a lot in the suspension. So I got new bushings, ball joints, and a tubular construction that's going to really firm up the front of this truck. So in Project Ballin', we were able to find a set of drop lower control arms. That wasn't the case for this truck. Not in the price range anyway. Here is the lower. Man, these things are heavy. That's a bump stop, baby. Lower control arm, spring bucket. I even got the options of putting the shock through the middle of this one. Man, this is awesome. I like options. It's just way more slippery to get the bag kind of started off. These are heavy parts. Man, look at that bolt. That's a grade 8. Big old son of a gun there. But we got some nice quality tubular welded lowers to go with the uppers. Everything black, nothing flamboyant. We're not going with orange springs or anything crazy. It's just black and silver. So you notice the truck and the wheels, not anything else. I get it's cool to do the frame bright and all the suspension bright on a lifted truck, but you wouldn't necessarily see any of that on this one. And there's a trick thing I got to do with this to make the spindles fit. Not that money was an option, but I can reuse these stock 9906 spindles. I measured them. The ball joints go both in from the top. I'm gonna clean these up, put a coat of paint on them so they're all fresh. If we want to get more drop out of the front, we can order a set of 2-inch drop spindles or 3-inch drop spindles, but that limits us on tires. We didn't want to go giant on the rims. This isn't one of those like show truck builds where you can't drive it. This is going to be used. So I got coils, sway bar, power brakes, master cylinder, proportion valve, upper and lower tubular control arms, all the front brakes off of a 9906 Silverado, and the spindles to match. What are we going to wrap them all in? That's the next question. So here is the shoes that make the outfit kind of thing. We picked up a set of these staggered 17 by 8.5 on the front. Check these things out. These are 969 wheels, packaged wonderfully, I might add. Aluminum machine. Love opening new wheels. Look at that. That's already gorgeous. So we got the rim protector from shipping. Look at those, huh? Look at the finish. 17 by 8.5. Ooh, they're light too. They are super light. These are freaking gorgeous, y'all. I don't think we could have done a better job picking out a slot car wheel for a step side square body. Look at that. It's got a 3-inch lip. You'll see how deep that is. That's the front 3-inch lip. I love the flat center cap. It's 6 lug. The back's been powder coated. It's really pretty silver. This is a -10 offset. That's the fronts. You need to check out these rears. Rear wheels are same but different. When we're running a staggered wheel setup, they're the same diameter, but wider rim. It's a 9-inch rim. Also, the offset on this wheel is just amazing. Remember that slot car picture I keep showing y'all? This one right here? This is how we achieve that slot car look. You can already see it's a 1/2 inch wider. Look at that. 4-inch lip, -36 offset. There's only a 1/2 inch difference in width, and you measure your wheel width by where the bead sits. So, you know, there's 8.5 inches, and there's 9. Told y'all that was 9 inches. If y'all seen that Gangsta Bird video, that's 9 inches. That's 8.5. It's a little narrower. So, you got 3 inches there. 4 inches here. They have like an iridescence to the finish on them. Let me show y'all. I hope the camera can pick it up. So the wheels, they're in this beautiful aluminum finish, but can you see how it picks up, especially in the lip right here? It's got blues and pinks and purples in the machine work of the wheel. That's also the same to be said in the metal flake of this paint. Maybe with the light, it's dirty. Can y'all see the metal flake in it right there? It's got blues and pinks and purples, yellows. So I kind of got a rule. Your tires got to be 2 inches wider than your wheel. That way you get an inch overhang. It's less curb rashing that you're going to do, and it makes the tire look fat, and it really enhances the wheel. So it's 265, 65, 17, 17 by 8.5. That's a 10.4 on an 8.5. So we're almost at our 2 inches, 30.5 inch tall tire. Here's a 285, 65, 11.2 on a 9. So we're just over our, 1/4 inch over our 2 inch, making the back really look fat, 31.5 inches tall. We're an inch higher on the rake, 3/4 of an inch wider on the width, and we're a 1/2 inch wider on the wheels. So the depth of this one here, man, that deep dish lip is where it's at. 969 wheels, y'all. TPB tires. We're gonna set Project SLIK DOGG up different than anything else. It's gonna look killer, like this little slot car toy right here. It's gonna be awesome. So the tires have a rake and the truck has a rake, which should really pick the back end up and kind of put the front down. Lower in the truck, but not necessarily slamming the truck. That's just gonna make it look just like this thing right here, man. I'm telling you, this is gonna be one hot little truck coming down the street. Not a low rider. It's not a dragster. It's a Hot Wheel. It's awesome. That's it for unboxing all the parts and everything that goes on the front of Project SLIK DOGG. It's gonna be definitely different. We're building a toy. So appreciate y'all watching. Catch me next week. I try to do an upload every Friday. If you like and subscribe, do it. Do all the stuff. Project SLIK DOGG on my playlist. Thank y'all for watching. Catch y'all next week. Later.